Couple of reasons for that. One is I think there is a tendency for them to appear amazing. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it is time to update the champion rankings. There is a lot. Not only do we have the buff champions to go over, there's been some promotions and some demotions. We're going to go over all of them. I will go over them as quickly as I can because I know these can take a while. Also want to keep in mind something else. This is intended to purely be a snapshot. You can see this is a very simplified list, and it's simplified for a reason. And that's because so many champions exist in this game. It is so complex. There's so many defenders and node combinations that very rarely, in fact, I think almost it's not possible for one champion to always just be significantly better than the rest. This is about, in general, how usable I think they are. My hope is that someone is like, should I rank up this champion? I just got them. Or what does Vega think about them? You come here, it is a snapshot, and then you go and you do your research. And of course, you play them yourself, right? Like a lot of it is how much fun is this champion to play? What can they do? And then if you see them in blue, that means it is a link. It will take you to either a full playlist of videos I've done on the champion, or it is directly to a video I've done on the champion. And then honestly, I suggest you go check with at least one other YouTuber, content creator, whatever term you want to use, that you really like, that you find to be informative, and so you can get their opinion too. All right, let's jump into this. Let's go. We're going to move quickly. Like I said, there's quite a few to go over. This is simplified. Top shelf. If you're seeing this for the first time, top shelf. Top shelf means, here's the way you know it's a top shelf champion. You've just ranked up the 5-star. You've taken them to SIG 200. You've used a lot of assets and resources to get them there. And then on your next 6-star crystal, you pull that same champion. And yeah, it's going to sting. It's going to sting a little bit, right? You're not exactly happy because you just spent all those 5-star resources, and yet within a day or 2 or 3, you're like, dude, I just pulled 6-star Doom. I'm pretty pumped up on that. That's how you know they're top shelf, okay? That's a real in-game example. There we go. So you see them there, and we're going to only talk about the ones that are bolded. Those are the ones that have had a change. And the first one we're going to get here is She-Hulk. I've been debating this one for a while. Me and some of the champions on, players, summoners, whatever term you want to use, on the Discord server have been talking about her for a while. I have used her quite a bit in my last few wars. My last few wars there with 4 Loki. She dominated some very difficult nodes. And then in some wars here with Relax, yes, it's tier 2. That's still very difficult and very tough defenders on very difficult nodes. And she just handled them. And seeing her used in war, it was what pushed her over into top shelf for me. She had been the queen of super premium and science, dominating them. She's obviously good in questing content. We've known that for a long time. And then really, it makes sense. For me, any champion that deals and can manipulate power within a fight already has at least a leg up. She's awesome. She deserves it. And there's the videos right there. My own personal experience in the Masters tier, tier 1, tier 2, both war, taking some of the toughest nodes in the game. She's dominating them. Check those out. If you're like, She-Hulk, what is she doing there? All right. And then we're going to scroll on through. And I think that is it for the top shelf. Yeah, that is it for top shelf for now. And then let's get to super premium. You can see that's where we're starting to have some of the shifting, some of the changing. Dragon Man and Tiger have both been promoted. Tiger received the largest promotion. Dragon Man just moved up in super premium. Oh, and super premium. These are amazing champions. I'm still working on. I had an example of what they are for sure, and the best test I can come up with for them for now is if someone asks me, and I get these questions a lot, hey, is this champion worth taking to rank 3? Usually that's a pretty nuanced answer. In fact, I just started a video series on it, but I'm not going to pitch that right now. If the answer is pretty quickly like, yeah, dude, they're worthy. If I don't need to ask too many questions about where you are in questing content and what do you need, if it's pretty much like, yeah, the default is yes, I think they are, then they deserve to be in super premium. Okay, so that's how you know. That's the sign of a super premium champion. Dragon Man has definitely worked his way up. Click on that dude destroying war. Of course, we know he can destroy questing content. And then Tigra, as more and more players are playing her and learning how to play her, she's still extremely difficult to play. That is a learning curve, but I think we're starting to understand that learning curve more. It's a little bit mysterious, a little bit less like 1 or 2 videos, really amazing things on YouTube. And then Simsup and Longshot have both been moved down. This is a little bit of a commentary on those top 3 mystics, as much as it's like they're just not being used as much. They can be used. We're seeing them being successfully used. My buddy, one of my buddies in 4 Loki has been destroying some, I think, Nova bosses and some other bosses with his Simsup. So, you know, shout out to him. He's a great player though too. But we're just not seeing them much, like in questing or things like that. Still super premium though. They have not been the full demotion. Able. This is a new designation for me. I wanted to keep this spreadsheet simple because again, it's supposed to be just it's a springboard. Where are you going to start off your research? But Cable is a different champion. He is a completely different champion as far as value when you pair him with the Apocalypse synergy. And that's what the S means. There's 2 champions like that on this list. I've only included 2 for this reason. If the synergy makes a significant difference in their overall value, and in both cases, I don't know if I'm going to stick with this rule, but in both cases, the synergy partner is very good. In this case, it's with Apocalypse, who is clearly and distinctly in the top shelf. I actually think Cable probably deserves to be in top shelf, and maybe by the next rankings, you'll see me have him there. The guy dominates. If you're again like, dude, guy with crazy hair, what are you talking about? You are also crazy. Click on that link. Pick out one of the videos in that playlist. There's a lot of him doing questing content, war bosses, war, tier 1, masters, Omega Red Abyss solos. Just bear with me. Check it out. Try it. Trust me on this one. Then we're going to move down. White Magneto has moved his way into the, look, you can see that is the new video series I started. Like I said, I'm not going to plug these things, but we take a look at each of them, these champions, and see if they're rank 3 worthy. Do they make sense? Right? Of course, this game's fun. Always keep that in mind. Fun should, I think, come into play in all decisions. But do they make sense for someone who's just trying to get Thronebreaker, someone who has a bit more of an advanced account, maybe some significant more rank 3s, and then a top shelf account? And spoiler, he's, I think, worth it in all 3 of them. It was very eye-opening to me. He is way better than I realized. And I could even see him moving his way up there, although those are some great champions up there. Mutant's just so strong, right? Okay, let's keep on moving down as we get to Immortal Abomination. He has been promoted, but that's more a function of She-Hulk moving over into top shelf. I do think Immortal Abomination could end up in top shelf in the not too distant future. Let's see what the 7.2 has in store for us, and if there's a shifting of the war globals. Please, kabam, let's get some new ones. It'll be fun. All right, and then moving on, I think that is it for Super Premium. Yep, all right. Let's go ahead and scroll back up to Premium. I don't have a great analogy for this one. The analogy I usually use, it's not really game related. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. I know not everyone's a fan of it, and I apologize. I just haven't come up with a good one yet. But let's just put it this way, and I'll use an in-game one, is the champions in the premium tier. They kind of exemplify what it is. They are good. They are premium level champions. You should be very excited about it. Let's not let the fact that it's the premium hero crystal, I think it is, throw us off into thinking that these are not good champions. The word premium means that it's very good. It is premium, all right? Yeah, all right. That was a bit redundant, but you get the point. Voodoo, he is highlighted because, honestly, I could see him being moved up into super premium. He kind of was there, but there's some really cool things being done with him. Again, the power manipulation. Let's not forget how much he heals at the beginning of fights. And then it's similar to me with Archangel, moving his way back up into the top of the meta. As we get more and more champions coming out who are not immune to poison, that means there's more champions that Voodoo can really get the damage going on. So let's keep our eye on him. I could see him being moved up. And I think this might just be a situation of him not being available as a 6-star. And that holding him back a little bit because we're not seeing those crazy, hey, 6-star rank 3 videos of him doing these amazing things, right? So it could just be a little bit of a function of that. Let's keep an eye on him. And then moving on down, I wanted to point out Mr. Fantastic. I've been using him on my baby account. I have a junior account that we've been having fun on the stream with. The guy's dominating stuff. He is way better than I've realized. Significantly better and significantly more helpful to a team than I realized. But he can handle things on his own. I want to keep my eye on him too. Science is strong though. Science is very strong. I know quite a few of you are probably thinking like, hey, some of those champions you have in premium really could be moved up. You're not wrong. Keep in mind, this is just my opinion based on what I've seen, alliances I've been in, Tier 1 War, Tier 2 War, Masters War, AQ Map 7, and that sort of stuff. So, I mean, this is a complex game, as I started off saying, but let's keep our eye on Mr. Fantastic. And let me know what you think, in particular, about Mr. Fantastic and Voodoo. I'd be very interested in that. Moving on down, next promotion is Iron Man Infinity War. He's an interesting one for me. He doesn't completely fit in with the category there for super premium. Check out that video though. If you're like, dude, why do you have Iron Man Infinity War so high up? He is a jack of all, a master of none. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I will say he is way better at all than I realized he is. Now, this is the other ranking that includes a synergy, and that synergy is with Stealth Spider-Man, who again is a very good champion. That's why I'm willing to rank them, assuming you have that synergy. That's what that's about. Check that video out if you're really unsure, if you're thinking I'm a little bit crazy on that. Moving on down to Howard. And you're going to see Crossbones there too. I'll talk about them together. I like to start off pretty conservatively when a champion's been buffed or is recently into the game. A couple of reasons for that. One is I think there is a tendency for them to appear amazing, right? Because, and this is no shade toward this, I think this is just objective reality, is we have content creators who are putting out these videos. They're able to take them to rank 3 or to SIG 200, rank 5, and they're going to look very good and they're very exciting. And they're showing us like all the cool things they could do, as they should. They should. That's great. I'm glad that exists, where there's a mechanism for them to show us the absolute fullest potential of these champions. The problem is that's not necessarily what it's like to have this champion on your account and to try to put together a questing team or to try to beat a difficult part of content. And so I want that to be thoroughly tested. And it's just going to take time. There's no way for someone to have tested that in 2 days. I know that Howard's doing some cool stuff. He's obviously a very good domino counter. And I think that's a fine ranking for him. This is, again, a premium champion. The worst I think Howard is a premium champion. Those are excellent champions you should be excited to have on your team that are ranked above him and with him. So no shade towards Howard. And then Crossbones. Here's why for me, I'm not immediately jumping him into super premium, and yet I'm putting him at the top of premium. It's very clear the damage is there. I think we've seen enough that the damage is there. Yeah, DPS king and things like that, and soloing thing bosses. And that is impressive. The damage clearly can ramp up. We're starting to see ways of refreshing the Furies there that you maybe weren't immediately obvious. It sounds like some parts of him may be bugged. He might not. He is, of course, extremely valuable against the hero champions, and that's the thing. And there are so many heroes in the game. The ability accuracy to reduction, keep in mind, it's just defensive, but still, that's a big deal. The ability to purify debuffs. I could definitely see him getting moved up. It does seem like there might be a high skill cap in playing him right now, but time will tell. Time will tell. Like, we used to think Tiger was like impossible to play. Wow, you know, these 2 people on YouTube really have learned it, but we're starting to see more and more people learn it and understand it, and so maybe it's not quite as rough as we might think it is. Let's keep our eye on him. That is definitely not his ceiling. I could see him in the super premium tier. Angela. Pretty much the same thing. My holdback on her is a little bit different though, but the same thing, that she's still pretty new, is that SIG. That SIG is really important. And if you're ranking up 5 stars and that's where you're at in the game, which is a great place to be. I'm still ranking up some 5 stars, right? I have a video on that too, but we've plugged enough here. If 5-star 6 stones are really important to you, then that's a big investment to put them into her. And 6-star 6 stones are important to everyone. That is a massive, massive investment. I'm even holding back on that. I have her at SIG 102. And my only hesitation with her is if I was going to take her to rank 3, I would probably want to get her to like 180. And those 6 stones are just incredibly rare. We're seeing what what sort of resources are required to get those from Kabam. And it's a lot. It's a lot. So I think she can do a lot of great things. I actually want to test her more. The video that's linked there is an initial testing. I believe Angela's going to be one of the next R3 worthy champions. I think she is, but I think it'd be great to put that into context of what your account might be like, and us understanding this is what you're getting. This is what you're getting, and this is how she can potentially fit into your account. So that's where I'm at with her. And then let's scroll up, and we'll finish Call. Call is, you know who's the ideal Call champion is, let's scroll down here, Cosmic, Ronin. Ronin's ideal. Like, you are calling your shot. You're like, okay, I've got these 4 spots. I've got this one fight on this lane. I just need one champion to handle this one difficult fight. Ronin, right? Perfect thing. You're not going to use him for the rest of the fights, but man, is he going to handle that one for you? Or just the absolute baseline, this champion's going to get some stuff done. Maybe they're not the best in the game, but it's who I've got. It's who I've got, and I enjoy them, and they're going to get some stuff done for me, right? Okay. And we saw that. It's really interesting here that Hood is on there. We saw that there was a large group of people, very smart players, who used Hood for a very specific reason, and then that got taken from him. And for them, it really hurt his value because they had been using for that one thing. That's perfect. Hood. Hood is currently the Call champion. He is the symbol for Call. MCoC should be bolded there. He seems like he does some stuff. Nothing really overwhelming. There's some nice immunities there. Let's give him some time. Maybe he works his way up to premium. Again, Call's not bad. Call means there's a use. All right, keep that in mind. And then that is it for the champions. Wow, we covered a lot. We knocked a lot out here. Oh, Nova. Not enough. Not enough. I think it seems as though Kabam really he's a defender. He's a defender. And they're almost doing us a favor there, where they're like, let's not make him so good offensively that when people make a mistake, they are immediately one-shotted. So he's a tough defender. I'm sure there's some people who really like him. They're going to get his sig really high. He can be a bit of a prestige champion, and they're going to make some nice use out of it. In fact, if you have strong feelings on Nova, let me know. I'd really like to hear that and be educated on that. And then just some simple stuff, right? The champions, they are more or less ranked in their tiers. Keep in mind, though, as one, it's almost impossible for one champion to always be better than another. So take it with a grain of salt. And I cannot emphasize this enough. This is just meant to be a snapshot. This is meant to be fun, create conversation, and to be a snapshot on, hey, this is what Vega thinks of these champions relative to each other. I would love it if you watch my video on them. If you've made it this far, you probably already have, or you're very willing to. Then watch someone else who you respect, or maybe who disagrees with me. If you can get both, that'd be great. And then you can go out and make up your own mind. You're a smart player. You know what you're doing, and you know what you enjoy too. So thank you so much for watching. I always enjoy reading the comments after all the videos, but especially after these. I like hearing where we think I'm right, where I may be a little bit different than other ranking videos you've seen. And then I also love when people tell me I'm wrong, and you tell me why I'm wrong. And it's not just because I'm a moron. It's for, something else in there. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.